Members of the boys and girls choirs of Trinity Episcopal Church on the Green participate in a life-enriching, diverse musical experience.
They look like gummy worms. I was afraid someone might pick one up and eat it.
In addition to professional-level musical training, the choir members also experience a rich community life with their peers and with all the choir families.
It's how many choir girls can fit on a couch.
At the beginning of the year, each choir has its own special week at choir camp, during which the members spend quality time with the musical staff and with their fellow choir members. This magical experience increases their musical skills and strengthens friendships that often end up lasting a lifetime. The boys' choir has a tradition of spinning the door latch, which symbolizes leaving the everyday world behind and focusing on the musical work at hand. The musical training that the boys and girls receive builds self-confidence, enables them to grow their own unique musical talents, and empowers them for a lifetime of self-reliance. Beginning with the founding of the boys' choir at Trinity Church in 1885, there has been a continuous emphasis on the importance of children's singing. The girls' choir joined this tradition in 2003. Travel to cathedrals and churches, both in the United States and in England, gives the choir members the opportunity to explore their musical roots and to train with other young singers. And as they visit historic sites, the total experience brings the past and present together.
I think a lot of people misunderstand the word tradition. To a lot of people, tradition means old and stodgy. Well, that's not the case here at Trinity. Here at Trinity, we recognize that we are singing the same songs that have been sung for centuries. However, we sing them in our own unique way. Each choir sings them differently. So in a sense, we need to raise up tradition, because tradition is the cornerstone from which we build this choir.
Sing.
What are the steps again?
Each child that auditions for the choir is asked to match pitch patterns and to sing Happy Birthday. The director also looks for the child's ability to focus on the task at hand.
Don't do it from memory. Come on up, novices. Come on up.
Once a child is accepted into the choir, he begins a process of learning both basic music theory and vocal technique.
So warming up your voice is all about relaxing.
Vocal exercises assure that the voice does not tire and improves both group and individual vocal tone.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
As a music educator,
my children's music education is important to me. And I knew coming into this that Trinity would offer them a great musical experience, but I really didn't know the extent of it. You know, the children gain so much knowledge commonly taught to college freshmen. And just as an example, I asked, my second son was only a second grader when he began. And one day in the car on the way home, I asked him, actually it wasn't even coming home from a rehearsal, it was just in the car one day, I asked him what his favorite song was. He thought for a moment and he said, well, you know, Mom, it's a toss-up between Frosty the Snowman and the latent liturgical responses.
In terms of Malcolm's training musically from the Trinity Boys Choir, he became popular at school, both with the music department in the school and with the athletic department, because the coaches would ask him to sing, and the boys liked the way, the athletes enjoyed the way Malcolm sang the national anthem. And it really made the school proud that he represented them so well. And with the training that he got musically from Trinity, he was also given opportunities in the community to sing for the Amistad, and he was also given the opportunities to sing with the Heritage Chorale and the New Haven Symphony Orchestra.
There are occasional concerts where the boys sing sacred and secular music written for unison or divided treble parts. The boys occasionally join forces with other groups and conductors as an extended musical experience. More typically, the boys will sing the treble or top part of the music, joined by adult altos, tenors, and basses singing the lower parts. These singers act as musical mentors, and by providing the lower three voice parts of the choir, enable the boys to sing great choral music written throughout the centuries. The novice boys in red cassocks have the opportunity to participate in full choir activities as a part of their training.
I mean, it all started here. Well, the choir taught me basic intervals that I needed for things like regionals and all-state, and that really helped me out. I mean, I did probably the best out of everyone in my school. The sound of the choir I thought it was amazing when I was in it, and I wanted to take that on to other places in my life.
Guys, don't eat the worms. They're not gummy worms. They're
Mummy dog.
The choir as a whole is strengthened by building a community within the choir. By assisting with special events and meals, the choir parents become a close-knit family with ties lasting a lifetime. Events are held in which the boys interact with each other in some very non-musical ways. This break from musical training builds friendships that do in fact strengthen their musical skills. The boys often present concerts to benefit charitable organizations. Using their musical skills to help others is an important lesson in sharing with their community. Concerts often contain music from many different faith traditions, as well as secular music. Each year begins with a week at choir camp, during which both musical skills and friendships are cultivated in a setting that provides relaxation and fun for the singers. while there are musical rehearsals in the morning and sung services to end many of the days. Much of the time is spent in fellowship, taking advantage of the many activities provided by the camp. This is also an important time for new members of the choir who come for a portion of the week to meet their older choir brothers and to begin their musical journey.
I came to choir camp and it was a lot of fun, and meeting everybody I think was the best part about it, because you expand your friendship so much more.
I have much better table manners. I know how to use a fork and whatnot. It just helps you in life. You go away for a week at choir camp without your parents or anything. That will help you just get used to it and stuff, and it prepares you for everything, social skills and just how to make friends, how to when you go to college, you have to get used to that too. It's like that, it's just like that, so.
In my adult life, I think I'd be very good at managing stuff, because the choir takes a lot of time and you have to have a commitment with the choir.
Returning choir alumni often remark that some of their most vivid memories were created during their fellowship and travel with the choir. By depending on each other during these times, the boys grow more self-reliant.
Okay, we have two of the most different sons in the world. One son is hail fellow, well met, great with other people, an athlete, and the other son is quiet, introverted, and thinks a lot about very obscure things. And both of them found a home for 6 years in the boys' choir, and then for 4 years as a teen in the men and girls choir. You know, going to New Haven is daunting for people in the suburbs. We live in Madison, and for 8 years we drove both of our boys in and out all the time, but carpools make it easier. And not only do the carpools make it easier, you come to know a variety of different families that are in your area. And in truth, making a sacrifice to do something that's valuable builds commitment to something that's greater than yourself.
Each week, the boys have a talk time with the music staff, where they discuss upcoming activities as well as everyday challenges they face as children of their generation. While the choir develops leadership in each boy to the best of his own ability, there are also lead boys that assist the adult leadership and serve as examples to the other boys. Each new boy is paired with an older boy who acts as his coach. He receives musical guidance and help in understanding the expectations and routines of the choir. Visits to other cities and countries where the choir can sing in famous churches, cathedrals, and concert halls allows the boys a unique opportunity for growth. They serve as musical ambassadors for their families and towns, and experience travel opportunities often not available to boys of their age. Occasionally they even walk in the footsteps of boys who lived hundreds of years ago.
When we went to St. Thomas in New York in my novice year, it was like, oh, this is nice. And then we went to England, and that was just like a culture shock for me. It was the best time I ever had in my life, I think, because nice not having my parents around with me to make them hold their hand when we cross the street, or just like always having to listen to them. I was sort of, I had to listen to the adults and stuff, but it was fun because I was in the company of my friends.
I came to Trinity 12 years ago when my son Christopher was 8. He started as a treble. Both my sons have gone through the program, pretty much grew up with the program. My older son is now in college. He's at Oberlin. He's pursuing a double degree in music at the conservatory and physics at the college. My second son is going to be a junior in high school. He now sings with the men in the men and boys choir. He also takes organ. Both boys have benefited so much from the program, both musically and personally. Our whole family has actually been very blessed to be part of this organization. The boys early on understand what it means to be a professional. They understand what it means to do their best and always put their best work forward. The kids actually get a small stipend. There's no tuition, no monthly dues, nothing. Just a lot of support and a lot of good musical training.
When I think about choir, and last year I considered maybe not continuing in the choir because I was so busy. Then I sat down and thought about it, and I was like, there's no way I could ever leave the choir.
You know, you can do a lot of things with your kids. There are courses and games and you know, retreats and leadership seminars and all this stuff you do to get your kid into college. But minute for minute, hour for hour, the best time my kids ever spent, and I had 2 of them in the choir, was learning music with the choir. The education you get when you sing in that choir, not only does it last a lifetime, but it's at the highest level of both music appreciation, understanding, and performance. The standards are not everyone's a winner. The standards are who can sing the best and how can everybody sing better. And there are not too many things in this world that reward excellence with loving accessibility.
You can just, I think you could look to having like one of the greatest patch of years of your life here.
I think overall, Trinity Church and Trinity choirs, both of the choirs, have given my 2 children confidence. Confidence in the gift that God has given them, and confidence in their abilities to establish friendships, confidence to carry out a task and be part of the community, confidence in their abilities to sing, of course.
Knowing how to approach any kind of situation with self-confidence and with equanimity. They are remarkable in the fact that I can see them a year later after they've been in the choir for a year, and they're offering me a chair, they're offering me a book. They know how to sit at the table and have a conversation that's not just about them. So it's not just musical. It involves every aspect of their being. It makes them into fully formed, treasured people.